This might surprise you. You can develop your English skills 32 times faster in a supermarket than in a classroom alone. How? Because it's not studying in the traditional sense. It's about hijacking a perfectly designed environment that's right in front of you. Welcome to the Secret Language Lab! Ever notice how some people freeze up when ordering coffee but can navigate a whole supermarket in a foreign country? Today, we're exploring why supermarkets are secretly the perfect English practice labs and how you can level up your language skills while getting your groceries.
You know, it's fascinating because supermarkets are actually one of the most effective places to practice real-world English. They're like these perfectly designed language learning environments hiding in plain sight.
Really? What makes them so special?
Well, think about it. Every item you see is essentially a built-in flashcard. You've got visual cues, prices, labels, and real people to interact with. It's contextual learning at its finest.
So it's like having a textbook come to life?
Exactly. And research shows that this kind of immersive, real-world practice helps learners develop fluency 3.2 times faster than traditional classroom methods alone.
That's incredible. But where should someone start?
The produce section is actually perfect for beginners. You can practice basic questions like, where can I find the tomatoes? Or, are these apples fresh?
And I imagine the visual cues really help, right?
Absolutely. Plus, you know what's interesting? The way supermarkets are designed actually works in your favor for language practice.
How so?
Well, stores are intentionally laid out to maximize shopping time. While that might be frustrating for shoppers, it's great for language learners because it gives you more opportunities to practice.
That's such a clever way to look at it. Speaking of clever, I heard you have a unique approach to shopping lists.
Yes, turn your shopping list into a personalized vocabulary guide. Take photos of items you buy regularly and create your own visual dictionary.
That's brilliant. What about dealing with anxiety? A lot of learners get nervous about making mistakes.
That's where the beauty of supermarket practice comes in. The stakes are low, and most interactions follow predictable patterns.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Start with simple questions like, do you have any fresh bread? Or, where can I find the dairy section? These are questions staff hear multiple times daily.
And they probably expect these questions, right?
Exactly. Plus, if you're not understood immediately, you can always point to what you're looking for.
You know what's interesting? The whole self-checkout phenomenon has really changed how we interact in stores.
That's true. And it's actually created new language learning opportunities. Those machines use common phrases that you'll hear everywhere.
Like, please place item in bagging area?
Exactly. And these phrases are usually clear and well pronounced, making them perfect for pronunciation practice.
What about more advanced learners? How can they challenge themselves?
Try comparing products, discussing nutritional information, or even complaining about a faulty item. These require more complex vocabulary and sentence structures.
That makes sense. Any specific phrases you'd recommend?
Try something like, could you explain the difference between these two products? Or, I noticed this item is past its expiration date.
Those are great examples. What about cultural differences in shopping?
That's another fascinating aspect. Supermarkets are like mini cultural museums. The products, layouts, and shopping habits can vary significantly between countries.
So it's not just language practice, but cultural learning too?
Absolutely. You learn about local foods, customs, and even social norms around shopping.
Let's talk about common mistakes. What should learners watch out for?
One common mistake is trying to memorize too many phrases at once. Start with basics like asking for help and prices, then gradually expand.
That makes sense. Keep it manageable, right?
Exactly. And remember, it's okay to use simple language. Native speakers do it all the time.
What about preparation? Should people practice before going to the store?
Yes, but keep it practical. Review vocabulary for items you actually need to buy. Make a list in English and practice pronouncing everything on it.
That's really practical advice.
And you can use your phone to look up words or even record yourself practicing key phrases.
Speaking of technology, any apps you'd recommend?
Actually, the Standard Notes app on your phone can be great for creating shopping lists in English. It's simple but effective.
Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best, aren't they?
Absolutely. And you can always use translation apps as backup if you get stuck.
What about timing? Is there a best time to practice?
Off-peak hours are great for beginners. There's less pressure and staff usually have more time to help.
That's really smart.
Yes, and weekday mornings are usually quieter, perfect for practicing those conversations.
Let's talk about progress. How can learners track their improvement?
Keep a log of new words you learn each shopping trip. Try to use at least one new phrase every time you go.
That's a great way to measure progress.
And celebrate small wins, like successfully asking for a specific item or understanding the cashier's questions.
Any final tips for our listeners?
Remember that every shopping trip is a learning opportunity. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the learning process.
And the stakes are pretty low, right?
Exactly. The worst that can happen is you might need to rephrase something or point to what you need.
This has been incredibly helpful. Any last words of encouragement?
Yes. Think of each shopping trip as a mini language lesson. You're not just buying groceries, you're investing in your English skills.
I love that perspective.
And remember, everyone starts somewhere. Even native speakers had to learn these interactions at some point.
So, what's the first step for someone wanting to start?
Start small. Learn the names of 5 items you buy regularly. Practice those until you're confident, then add more.
That doesn't sound too overwhelming.
Not at all. And you'll be surprised how quickly your confidence grows.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your next grocery run could be your best English practice yet.